Hi there, stampers and crafters. My name is Tami White from stampwithtami.com and welcome to my online class. Today we're going to be making this beautiful card. Actually, maybe we might do a little bit more than that today. I've got a ton of techniques to share with you guys today. This is a technique-packed episode of fun paper crafting. So welcome to my class and my channel. If you are new, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. You may be watching me live on Facebook or on YouTube, and you may be watching the replay later, or you may be doing both. Maybe you watch the live and you're watching the replay later. But I've got all kinds of great fun paper crafting for you no matter when you're watching. But if you're watching live, I can see your comments. Be sure to drop one because you could be entered to win a ribbon bundle from me. These are some new ink colors. I've got a package of 3 that I'll be giving away on September 18th. I'll draw the winner from the comments. And if you share this broadcast onto social media and type the word shared into the comments, I'll enter you a second time. So here's what we're making. And I would like to credit Jack A. Williams from New Zealand for inspiring me with this card. It is a rainbow ombre background. We're going to be doing blending brushes. I'm going to show you some tips and techniques with that. In addition to that, the techniques include, ready for all of these? We're going to be doing the ombre background. We're going to be doing masking. We're going to be using the blending brushes, heat embossing. I'm going to show you how to make the splatter effect. And we're going to make a fun fold easel card out of this. And I'll show you how to work with adhesive strips. Woo! That's a lot to cover today. So let me show you the, I'm going to show you the easel card here because I made this card in 2 different folds. Just a traditional one and this easel fold. I'm in love with the easel fold. I made the traditional fold and I just wanted to step it up a little bit. And that's where I decided to do the easel fold. So I'm going to show you how to make this one, and this one will be made exactly the same, just traditional fold on that. Okay, so let's jump right in. What do you guys say? Welcome aboard to everybody who is watching live. So good to see you guys. I hope that everybody is doing okay out there and having a wonderful Friday. It is Friday. I'm going to start with some heat embossing today. So we're going to do our words first, and I'm going to take some basic black. Now, the panel that I'm using, I'm going to show you a little trick here. To get the most out of your cardstock or any other paper that you're using, I am actually going to go ahead and just use the center of this panel, this layer here, because there's no reason to, unless you have some scraps handy, there's no reason to waste more paper when you can just do that. No one's going to see it anyways. So we're going to start with some Versamark watermarking ink. And I'm going to use white embossing powder that comes in Stampin' Up's Metallics collection. I'm sorry, not Metallics, Basics collection of ink. And I have a full supply list on my stampwithtami.com blog. You can get all of the details there on this card that we're making today, including measurements and even some pictures, some other views of it, all on my stampwithtami.com blog. If you're watching the replay, the link will be in the description of this video. If you're watching live, just go to stampwithtami.com. And I've got all the measurements here too for when we do the fun folds, so you can play along. All right, so let's start with our stamping. I am using the In Your Words stamp set. This is from Stampin Up Sale-a-bration. So this is Sale-a-bration Part 2 of 2001. This is a limited edition. This one's really hard to get because you can only get this one with a $300 order workshop or, combined order, and really, really pretty set. Lots of fun words. And I used it on a couple different ones. I'll show you another one after. But for this one, we're going to use the Life is Full of Ups and Downs. Hold on tight. So I'm going to start by taking this, and I've got an Emboss Buddy. I know I'm sad we don't sell that anymore. But if you do not have one handy, you can use a dryer sheet. You could use like a Swiffer, anything to keep static down, especially where we're going to be doing some white embossing on black. We don't want any little extra flecks to stick around on our project, because they will. I call that the if you forget it, you will regret it step. So, and especially like I'm in New England and it's starting to cool off a little bit here, and it gets very, very dry. And when it gets dry, oh, that's when this really gets staticky and things stick. even when they wouldn't normally. So I'm just pouring some white embossing powder over the top, and you can see there's little extra pieces here, but because I use that on it first when I give it a good flick, almost all of it came off. Yay! We love it. Love it when that happens. So just pour the rest in there. Those little guys last forever, these little jars. All right, so we're going to take our handy dandy heat emboss tool, and we will do some embossing. Just melt that powder on there. That way the words are just going to jump right out at you. I love it. I love the white on the black. And again, I'm using a layer from the card here. So after I can just layer this underneath, no one's going to see it. Now, for the label on this one, I took a label from the potted succulent dies. And the potted succulent dies are in the annual catalog. I just really liked this one. So this is the one I used. I'll show you this is the set here. This is what the cutouts all look like. Really pretty, really pretty. This is a bundle. Actually, it's a suite in the catalog. Lots of cool things with it, but I'm just using the label. I just like the shape of it. And so I'm going to go ahead and take that and run it through the die cut machine and through the magic of video. Ta-da! I have it all done. I love that, right? Nice and easy. All right, so that's all done. We're going to put that aside, and we're going to come back to that. Next up, we are going to do some big shot or some die cutting work. We don't have a big shot anymore. It's a die cut and emboss machine. So let me go ahead and get that ready for us. I'm going to do all of our die cutting at once. So we have a piece to cut on the inside, and I'll share with you the dies that we're going to be using for this. These are the Summer Shadows dies. So this is the Summer Shadows die set, and this is part of Sale-a-bration. So there we go, right here. These are amazing. Now, I know a lot of people, they were like, oh, it's just a die set. If you didn't have the stamp set, you think you don't need it. I can tell you right now, I don't have the stamp set that goes with it. And these dies are phenomenal. It turns out you don't really need the stamp set to make amazing things with this die. You can get it free during Sale-a-bration, which ends the end of this month. So this is a level 2 set, level 2 Sale-a-bration product. So you get it free with a $100 order. It's a must. I love these dies. I'm going to show you another thing that I'll be putting out on my blog, a tutorial on my blog on Sunday, so you guys can see some more magic with these dies. So for the inside, I'm going to cut out one solid black one here. And again, there's a layer on the inside, so I'm just going to do this through the magic of video. We'll go ahead and do that one already. This is going to be the inside layer, so no one's going to see it, and we will put that aside. All right, now let's do some die cut work. So I'm going to take that same solid die, the same one, and we're going to make a mask out of this. It's a piece of basic white cardstock. You could use scrap, but I'm going to show you a reason why you might not want to at the end of this video. So I have the measurements on that PDF, and it's totally up to you if you want to use scrap or if you want to use white. But I'm telling you, use the white. Trust me on this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut out little flowers all over it. Now I'm going to start off the edge. And now one little tip when you're going off the edge, and see how, don't do this. And I don't know if you can see that too good, but if I cut this corner of the mask falls off, and then you kind of have a blank space there. So make sure there's no little pieces that are sticking out. So we'll go ahead and put that in there. I mean, it's easy enough to fix if you do it, so don't sweat it, but if you can help it. All right, so that's going to cut off just a little corner of the flower. I guess I can move that a little bit here. Move that in here a little bit easier for you guys to see. And then just make sure that you get all the little pieces out of the die before you start the next step. So I'm just going to go ahead and take that die brush, roll that out of there. And then we're going to go ahead and go around and cut flowers randomly all around this piece. We're going to go off the edge and then we are going to continue on with that. And through the magic of video, ta-da! I have one already done for us. Yay! All right, so we've got our flowers all cut out. Just put that back on there with the rest of them. Okay, now, before I put that die cut machine away, which I already did, right? I am going to cut out some of the skinnier flowers that go along with this. So again, this is the Summer Shadows die. It's part of Sale-a-bration. This is the one that I'm going to be cutting out. And before I do that, I'm going to want to use some adhesive strips. So the adhesive strips, and they come like this. I'm just going to move that aside while I show you these. All right, so they come, they're, I want to say they're maybe 12 inches by maybe 6 inches, or somewhere, something similar to that. I didn't measure it. But I know that these little strips on the back, there's 3 strips, and they're about 2 inches. The strips are about 2 inches. For these little flowers, because they're little, they fit right in there. And so what I did was I cut off a 2-inch strip of the adhesive sheet and a 2-inch strip of shimmer white cardstock. This is an easy way to do it. Actually, you don't even have to cut that, right? So this is sticky, and I'm going to stick it to the back of my shimmer white, and that's going to make the shimmer white a sticker, right? So that makes it really easy to work with these flowers. The flowers are going to be really thin. Oops. I can put that right in my ink pad, but that's okay. It is okay. No worries. So that's how I set up my adhesive sheet. And then I went ahead and I run this through the die cut machine 7 times. We want it to go through 7 times. And then through the magic of video, ta-da, I have them already cut out, and I have them kind of just waiting for us. So I have actually a couple of extra here waiting for us. So we've got at least 7, if you want to do more you can, of these thin pieces, of thin flowers. Okay, so next up, now that we've gotten our die cut work done, we're gonna start masking. Okay, so I promised you a bunch of techniques on this class, right? So far we've got heat embossing, done it. We've created a mask. We're gonna start working with that next. And now I'm gonna show you how to use the blending brushes. Blending brushes are super, super fun. They're very soft. I like to call them big sponge daubers, but they're actually a little different because they're not foam. These are actually brushes, and they're soft. I'm using 2 of the blending brushes, but I have 5 colors here. 5 colors of the rainbow. Oh. Again, I have all of these colors listed on that free PDF, and they're also listed here. So these are the rainbow colors that I'm using on this card. They're Polished Pink, Mango Melody, Grainy Apple Green, and Bermuda Bay. So this is basic white. My mask is basic white, although it's not that important what the mask is. Unless you want to do the step I'm going to show you at the end. Stay tuned. I know I'm such a tease, aren't I? Okay, so this is shimmer white, which probably doesn't show so well on the video, but it's pretty awesome. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little bit of temporary adhesive to attach our mask to our panel. And if you don't have temporary adhesive, and I don't, so I'm going to show you another trick here. This one is bonus. It's not even listed. So I'm going to take some seal. This is seal adhesive. And I'm going to put a tiny little bit in a couple of places. Not too much. Don't go too crazy with this because you don't want it to actually stick to your card permanently. Oops. Didn't roll. Okay. So after you put it on there, tap it a lot so it's not very sticky. I just want it to be enough to stay still over our card, but not enough to move around. Okay. And I intentionally made the mask slightly bigger than the piece that we're going to be embossing. And you know what? I know that white on white is really hard to see. Let me see if I can get that maybe just a little bit easier for you guys to see. Let's see. Let's see how good my tech skills are today. There we go. Oh, that's better, right? Can you guys see that a little bit better? I think I can see it a little bit better on the screen. Okay. I'm just going to bring in just a scrap piece of paper here. We're going to go off the edge. So I've just got some grid paper here from the Stamparatus. That's what I'm using. All right, so I've got my first blending brush. Again, I'm using two. So the first one I'm using kind of in my yellow orangey based colors, so Polished Pink and Mango Melody. The other one I'm using in my blue base. That's not important. You could actually use the same one for all of them. Just rub it off in between. You could use a different one for all of them, however you want to do that. A little trick here with the blending brushes. So what I'm doing is I'm picking up the color off the ink pad. I'm starting off the paper and then rubbing it on the paper. And the reason why is because it always seems to get you this little mark. And if you start off the paper and then go on, that little mark doesn't get into your project. So this is Polished Pink, and I'm only doing the top. Like I want it really dark at the very top edge, but I'm only doing the top because we're gonna go down. We've got 5 colors to do. So now I'm just gonna rub off all of that Polished Pink, and we're gonna go into Mango Melody. And I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna start off the edge. I'm gonna go right into that, and I'm gonna blend right into that same color. And again, I'm just going down so we get that ombre effect. We're blending together, darker at the top, going down a little bit lighter here. And then I'm going to switch over to the Granny Apple Green. All right, so as you guys probably know from my previous videos, I am a lefty and I am trying to do the green righty so you guys can see, so my hand doesn't get in the way, but it's not working so well. So back to the lefty. Sorry, I'm covering it, but hopefully you guys can get the idea, right? So I've got Granny Apple Green. I'm intentionally kind of making sure that it's got that covered really well. And then I'm gonna get the Granny Apple Green, rub that off, go to Bermuda Bay, and get a little bit of that Bermuda Bay on the bottom, bottom here. And then we're gonna round it off with our very last color. And that is Gorgeous Grape. So we've got our rainbow going on here. My friend Sam Hammond in the UK would be very proud of me with my rainbows. Okay, so we've got all 5 colors on there. We've got the rainbow. I'll give you a little peek underneath, but I'm not going to take the mask off yet because we're not done yet. Okay, so I've taken a flower here. Now, I was inspired by Jack A. Williams, and she did use the coordinating stamp set that goes with this die set. So these are the Summer Shadow dies that are part of Sale-a-bration. And this is what the shaded summer stamp set that it originally coordinated with looks like. But honestly, this doesn't need to go. I mean, that's a great set. It's got great words on it, but they don't have to go together. So because I didn't have that stamp set, I just pulled out another one that had some pretty flowers on it. It was the Beauty of Tomorrow is what I ended up pulling. So I'm going to use that for just a little bit of background interest. So I'm going to stamp that in some Polished Pink and stamp those flowers kind of in the inside where our little mask is. And I'm going to clean that off with our chamois, and then I'm going to go with a little Granny Apple Green, stamp that in the middle one, and then on the bottom I'm going to go with a little bit of Gorgeous Grape. We'll go with Gorgeous Grape on the bottom one. All right. Now we can take that mask off. And this is, oh my gosh, taking this mask off. I know it sounds like Halloween, right? We're taking our masks off now. Or we're at the spa taking our mask off. Look, even the paper underneath it is pretty, right? All right, so this part, and do this gently, because I'm saving this because this mask is so pretty. I want to find something fun to do with it, okay? So, ta-da, now we have our bottom layer, and it's all masked with the ombre, and it has the stamps in it. So that was masking, how to use blending brushes, giving you the ombre background. One more thing before I start assembly on this card, and that, actually I'm going to bring in some scrap paper again. Sorry, I haven't quite done with that. And that is the splatter effect. So I'm using a water brush for that. So these water brushes are available in my online store, as are everything that I'm using actually today is available in my online store. Just kind of cleaning that off. Okay, so you can take as many or as few of these ink pads as you would like for the splatter effect. Or you could use the ink pad refills if you wanted to. But if you don't have a refill, or you just want to use the ink pad, squeeze here in the center with it closed. And when you do that, you're going to get a pool here of ink. So just pick some up with the brush. I like the brush a little bit wet when I do this. This is messy, so if you want to wear gloves, you can, or it does just wipe off the water-based ink. And then I'm going to flick it. And I'm actually going to bring it in just a hair here. Hopefully you guys can see this on the video because it's a little very, very faint, but very cool. In person, very cool. All right, so I'm just going to do 2 colors for example today, but you could do them all if you wanted to. So maybe we'll do some Gorgeous Grape or Bermuda Bay, whatever. They're all cool. They're all pretty. There. Okay, so we've got our splatter on there. So that is a quick and easy way to do the splatter effect. Can you see that okay? Cool, right? Okay. There we go. It is very pretty, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to move the ink pads out of the way, and now we are going to go ahead and do the fun fold for the easel card. Okay, so I'm going to take, and I'm using shimmer white cardstock, which probably doesn't show on the video, but I can tell you is really pretty in person. It's got really nice sparklies in it. You don't even have to do anything special to get the sparkly effect. And I am using the Simply Score tool today, and if you give that, there we go, give that a minute, that will come into focus. Okay, so I'm going to score at 2 3/4. You could also use the scoring blade on a paper trimmer if you wanted to, and 5 1/2. These are the exact same measurements that you would use to create a Z fold. Oh, there you go. Mitzi says tap it against your bone folder, and that works too. That's cool. Okay, so stay tuned. Stay tuned. You might have got a peek at this at the beginning. I'm going to show you a fun Z fold using these dies in a minute. Okay, so we're making an easel card today, not a Z fold, but the scoring would be exactly the same for both. So this will be our easel card, but we'd fold it this way to make our Z fold. Cool, right? And that's just a little step up, right? So when you want just a little something special without doing, like a ton of work, that's all you need to do right there. Easel card or Z fold, really cute, really fun. Okay, so now it's time for some assembly. Let's start with our flowers. So I'm just going to move our fun fold out of the way for just a minute. And I'm going to bring in here the flowers that we have already cut. And these are already on adhesive sheets. So they're already sticky. So they're, I don't have to worry about putting adhesive on them, which I think is, this is like, it makes the whole thing like so much easier, because for me, and I'm not a fan of the fine tip glue pen, and I often use seal adhesive, even for these, you know, these intricate die cuts. And let's just say, you know, then you got to kind of, it's a little bit of work. You got to clean off the, you know, the excess adhesive. And so when you use these adhesive sheets, which I am a huge fan of, it makes life so much easier. And if you are popping in late, first, welcome. Thanks for joining me. And be sure to hit that subscribe button and that like button. I love it when you like it. Hey, you know what? If you don't like it, you can hit the dislike button. I'm okay with that too. I have thick skin. Sometimes, you know, people get upset when they see that. Sometimes people hit the dislike button not by accident. And people get upset. They're like, how could you not like that? It's such a pretty card. It's like, it's okay. It's okay. It's all good. We like to know how you feel. So now I'm just taking the die cuts. If you also, for those of you who popped in late, you can go back and watch the replay, and you will get. I'll show you how I attach the adhesive sheet. Oh my gosh, they're sticky, so they're sticking to the table. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut off the extras on the card, the overhang of this layer. And I am using the, oops, using an old, these are scissors we used to carry. You guys need to write Stampin' Up. Everybody needs to write Stampin' Up and ask for these ribbon scissors back. I love these scissors. Thankfully, I bought a whole bunch of them before they were discontinued. Okay, so we can just, boop, those are done. Let's just move all the rest of this out of the way. All right, so now we have our layer for assembly. Let me just pull in the rest of our pieces that we're going to assemble on here. And I've got some, okay, so this is gonna go on the inside, although it really doesn't matter which the black goes. The blacks and the layering white panels are all the same size. Oh, la-di-da. I am missing a piece of shimmer white. Let me see if I have one around. Are you shimmer white? You are. Oh, life is good again. Okay. I love that when that happens. Okay, so we've got these, and so I'm just going to take some seal adhesive and attach our panels together. Oh, my seal is about to run empty. So I guess you're going to also, you know what, this is a bonus that I did not have this was not in the brochure. I didn't have this in the description, but if you were ever wondering, you know, when you get your seal, what happens when you use it all? You have a refill here, and all you got to do is pop it in. Make sure I got it facing the right way there. Oh my gosh, do I have the wrong side? I did just take that apart, right? Because I took it apart and then I lost the piece where I took it apart from. Well, somewhere there's a backing to this, unless I just threw it out. I'm like, such a dope. So this comes out, really, it's easier than I just made it. And I'm trying to put this into the wrong side. Come back to me, baby. Goodness, that seemed like the hardest part of the whole card, and yet it's not really. I promise it wasn't as difficult as I just made it. All right, so boom, boom. We're gonna go ahead and put our shimmer white panels, or our the panel where we did all of our masked flowers, on their black frames. This one's gonna go flat on the inside, and you see how I cut that flower right out of the middle, and you're not even gonna see it because I'm gonna hide it on the inside of the card. And somewhere I have one more little flower. Oh, silly girl. Well, we'll come back to that. It's not as important. These I've got black dimensionals. There's a lot of dog and cat conversation going on out there. I like your dog. I like that the corgi likes my videos. All right, so I just did something that I'm going to share with you you don't want to do. I put black dimensionals on the back of this whole panel, which is fine if you're doing traditional fold, but if you are doing Z-fold or easel fold, you don't want to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and take off these and these. And the reason for that is that you don't actually want something to attach to the top of this fold. So we'll just go ahead and put that down, because that's going to stand up. So that's going to be our easel here. See how that stands up? So if you have adhesive on the back here, like I did, and actually, you know what? Now that I'm looking at this, I don't like that I cut out the back of that black, because you can see it, right? I might redo it later, but for now. So if you're doing traditional fold, cut out. If you're doing traditional fold, cut out of your black piece. If you're doing easel fold, don't. Because otherwise it will show. We don't want that. All right, so on the inside, I was going to put another of these white flowers on top of this black one. I'm going to put the black one in there with some black dimensionals, which I have around here somewhere, because they blend right in and you can't even see them. So we're going to put that right about there, and that's going to hold up our easel fold. Somewhere there's a white flower, and when I find it, I will a white flower outline for that. But in the meantime, ta-da! Through the magic of video, again, we will just pretend that it's all done here. So that is the easel fold, and this is just a regular traditional fold, all done the same way. All done the same way. So that is how I made this card. I had this beautiful mask. I had this beautiful mask that had all these pretty ombre rainbow colors on it when I was done. And I was like, I got to do something with this. It's too pretty to throw away. You know what I'm saying? So the second part of this class is what to do with your leftover pieces, right? You can't just throw it out. You just can't. So I am going to take that die cut machine and some black and bring in, let's see. Oh, Diane, I'm so happy to hear you're inspired. Let's go ahead and bring in some, I'm calling on my stitched rectangle dies next for this one. And I'm going to take the largest and the third largest. And we've got some basic black cardstock. So I'm going to actually essentially just make a frame out of those two. So what I'm going to do is just kind of line them up so they're right inside of each other. Oh, thank you for asking that. What did you do for the center of the flowers? Thank you for asking that. We'll come back to that. I'll circle back, I promise. I should have showed you that, right? Because you can't end it without some bling, right, Pat? You can't end it without the bling. You guys can fire me for that, right? Fired for ending a card without any bling. Stamp with Tami going off the air. How dare she do that? That right there is just tragic. Okay, well, I will circle back to that. Let's go ahead and play with this one, and then I'm going to circle back to the bling, because we can put bling on everything all at the same time. Okay, so I've got a frame here. I've got my pretty mask that got pretty when we colored it. I'm going to go ahead and take some of that seal adhesive and attach this together. And I've lost my silicone mat, so I guess we're just going to work without that. Okay. I'm putting this on some vellum cardstock. Yeah, I get it. It's a little bit bigger than the vellum. I see that, but that's okay. And then maybe on some white. I don't know. I just like the vellum in there. Vellum is pretty. So I think I'm going to need to trim it down a hair. Let's see. Yeah. Trim it down a little bit. All right, so the first card that I just shared, I have a free PDF with. This one, I promise I will get you one for. This one I'm just kind of playing with now. I thought, oh, it's too pretty. I don't want to just, you know, throw out the pieces. That would be tragic. Okay. Perfect. Oh, there it is. I knew it was around here somewhere. These are worth their weight in gold, these silicone mats. My table stays nice because I have them. Otherwise it'd be adhesive everywhere. All right. Actually, you know what? Maybe I don't want to put that on just yet. All right. All right, so before I went live, I went ahead and exactly the same way that I cut them earlier. I put these flowers on, I took the basic black cardstock and I put it on an adhesive sheet, just like I did in the beginning. Anybody that popped in late can go back and watch the replay for how to do that. And I cut out a bunch of these flower outlines out of black. And I just thought they added that pop to this. Just something about the rainbow and the black that just looks amazing. All right. And I'm just going to fill in each of the, where we cut out the flowers. Now, if you're popping in late and didn't see the beginning, this is actually, this would have normally been scrap paper. I would have normally thrown this away, but it was too pretty. It was too pretty to throw away. And I'm like, oh, there's got to be something that we can do with that leftover mask after we've done the rainbow ombre effect on the background. So I'm just kind of playing around a little bit right now to see what I can come up with on the fly. Dang. The pressure's on, right? I hope it comes out good. What do you guys think? You like? You don't like? Oh, I love it. I love it. I love that. Okay, so I'll do the same thing. Those handy dandy scissors cut off the excess. Man, we covered a lot. We covered a lot in this episode. Wow. Can't believe the time is just flying. Okay, so now I'm taking that frame back. Look at that. Oh, love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right, so let's go ahead and take some of those. Actually, you could use black or white dimensionals here. Could go either way because there is a white bottom here. I'm going to go with the black ones because that's what I had handy. Yeah, you could do this with other flower dyes, sure you could. But I am in love with this die set. Absolutely in love with it. And like I said, I didn't have the map. What do you guys think? Yeah? Yeah? Okay. So, circling back to Bling. Some Bling for our original and for this one. I feel like they both need some Bling. I've got In-Color Gems. And I've got some black. I love this die set. This is the Summer Shadows dies. They're only available till the end of this month. Only available till the end of September during Sale-a-bration. You can get these free during Sale-a-bration. And like I said, they were originally made to go with a stamp set that I don't have. And you don't need the stamp set. Turns out you can do some pretty amazing things without the stamp set. All right, so for Bling, I've got black matte dots. And we're just going to go ahead and put those in the centers of each of these flowers. I don't know if that one's going to, no, it works, okay. And I don't know, should we do the black matte on this one? Let's see what happens. Why not? We can try it out, right? I almost feel like the pastel pearls would look really nice here. Oh yeah, I like that. I like that on there. Okay, and then we're going to finish it off with the in color jewels. These, the colors were perfect. Even though it was bright colors that I used, I actually used one of the in colors, the polished pink, on the card. The colors just matched so perfectly. They added that little something something to the card, and then let's go ahead and put some on this. On our, I like the leftover card just as much as the original. What do you guys think? Think the leftover came out okay? I think it's pretty awesome. So this was made with the mask. Oh my goodness, I'm having a hard time picking these guys up. Oh yeah, I like these on here. I think they add just a little something. And I feel like I need an autumn number on there, so let's pick up one more. Where to? Right there? And there. Okay. And there we have it. There we've got an easel card. This could be easily turned into an easel card simply by just changing those measurements, just putting an extra score line in there like I did. But Trisha says she likes the leftover card better. All right, now I have one more to share with you with these die sets. So this is the Summer Shadows dies that are available during the Sale-a-bration. And these, I'm using these alone. So I don't have the stamp set that they were made to go with, and you don't need it to make these. So I will have a tutorial on the Z-fold card on my blog at stampwithtami.com on Sunday. So full tutorial on how I made this. But isn't that awesome? That just pops, right? The flowers just bang. I used the same In Your Words Sale-a-bration set for the words on that one. And I will get a PDF up for this one so you guys can play around with your leftovers, because you can't throw those scraps out, right? All right, so a couple of things. If you are tuning in late, my prize today is some in-color ribbons that will match these jewels very nicely. I've got a pack of 3 that I'm giving away. All you need to do is leave a comment here on this video. And if you love everything you see here and want it all, I have an awesome deal happening with the demonstrator kit. You get a free stamp bundle in the mini catalog. It could be up to $60 value, which is pretty awesome all in itself. So you can check that out at stampwithtami.com. And I also have a holiday card swap. So I do card swaps with my Stamp It Demonstrator group every time that we have a new catalog. Anytime we have a pre-order, because demonstrators get to pre-order as well as get a discount on our stuff. One more reason to check out that demonstrator kit. And every time I do it, I know a lot of customers ask, can I get involved? Can I do it? And the answer is normally yes, but you need to purchase the demonstrator kit so you can get the pre-order items, because only demonstrators can get them. But this time I'm doing Christmas theme, and it's just current products. So it's open to all demonstrators if you are a demonstrator, even if you're not in my group. But it's also open to you as customers if you would like to participate in this. All of the details are on my blog at stampwithtami.com. All right, and don't forget, I've got all of the supplies on there. And here's just a few more samples sharing this die set combined with the shaded summer stamp set. So you can kind of see them together. These samples were in the Sale-a-bration catalog. They're really pretty, and it shows off just some things that you can do alone and together with that stamp set. But like I said, don't need that stamp set to make some pretty awesome projects. All right, well, thank you so much for joining me today. And don't forget to check out my blog a little later for the PDF for this one and Sunday for the full tutorial on the Z fold. And I will be back next week with a new class, new fun ideas, and new techniques. Thanks for joining me today.